Welcome to One Sharp Sword, cutting through to what matters most. I'm your host, Dr. B, Dr. Wayne Pernell, the exponential success coach. I'm here to get you to your next level and beyond. Here we go. There is so much pressure to be liked and to like and to ask for likes and to make sure that everything that you put out there is good enough. And I wanted to address that right away. One of my blogs, I do weekly Wednesdays with Wayne, and one of my blogs was focused on an audience of some. If you haven't read it, go back and read it. I'm going to give you some points here as well. You can find it at waynepernell.com, and you just click on the blog link at the top and you'll see it. So waynepernell.com, click on blog, you'll find it. An audience of some. If you haven't signed up for Wednesdays with Wayne, I encourage you to do that. And then, oh gosh, would you share? Like it if you like it, don't like it if you don't. And that is the point of this podcast. An audience of some means that you are not out to be liked by everybody, unless you are. And if you are, you need to be examining that. If your goal is you want everybody to love you, then there's something going on with you where you need that. And you need to back up and go, you know what? The approval I need is from me, myself. Okay, so that's where it starts. Like, what do you believe in? What do you stand for? And it's not what everybody else believes in. Well, what's everybody else saying? Because I don't want to make waves. It's not about that. If you have to check what you believe in against what other people are saying, that's a signal for you, right? If you are worried about triggering somebody, that's a signal for you. Yes, be polite. Yes, be aware, but do not feel like you have to tailor your life or what you say to others because you want them to like you. So this is where we're headed today. In my first book, Choosing Your Power. In my first book, Choosing Your Power, I had chapter 3 that was called, what was it called? Oh, Permission Granted. I almost lost it there. It's called Permission Granted. And chapter 3 is all about how people show up in apology. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I can't tell you how many meetings I've had I've attended where somebody joins it and the first thing out of their mouth is not, hey, I'm glad to be here. Hey, thanks for waiting. It's, oh, sorry. And what they're carrying with them is a ton of drama. What they're carrying with them is a need for approval, a need for acceptance. And if that's you, this is a wake-up call. If that's not you, it may be a gentle invitation for you to actually acknowledge the other person and let them know they don't need to do that. In fact, in my meetings, when people join me and they start with, oh, sorry, I make them stop. And it's like, you go out of my room, come back in, and we're going to start again. Don't start in apology. Start with, I'm glad to see you. Start with, thank you for waiting. But if you really start with, oh, sorry, where does that put you? And where does that put you for the rest of the meeting? So I want you to think about, are you showing up apologetic? Are you showing up in a way where you are asking for approval? And then you look at who's your audience? And that's why this is called an audience of some. If you are out to please everybody, you will exhaust yourself and you will end up pleasing no one. Because you're going to agree to things that you can't live into. Can you be here at this time? Sure. Yeah, I'd love to join you. It's like it takes an hour to get there, and they're asking you to be there in half an hour. It's not going to happen. Or you have these other things that were on your list, and you've been asked to do this thing. Oh, sure, I could do that. And then what happens? You get into apology. So you need to back up a little bit and own your life. This is the message here, right? Is your life is yours. What you agree to is yours. And you get to hold boundaries for what's not yours. Can you be here at X time? Nope, but I can be there 45 minutes later. Still good? Not good? Let's reschedule. Right? That's the thing. So an audience of some is like when you see people out there on social media, and you may be one of them, which is, again, why I'm doing this podcast. It could be very clearly for you, or it could be for someone you know. And that is this. When you see people out there and they are pushing and pushing and pushing, and they want so much to be liked, and they're going to put out the rainbows and unicorns and flowers and all the happy stuff, or the highlight reel of their life, that's great. That's awesome. Recognize that is the highlight reel of their life. And are they putting out things that may also cause you to think? Or is it just like, like my stuff, like it, can you like it? Now, here's the thing. Flip side of that. I have just produced my second TEDx talk, and it is on the TED.com platform. I am super proud of it. I would love it if you went to TED.com, typed in Wayne Pernell, found my TEDx talk, and liked it. Do I need you to do that? No. Do I want you to do that? Yeah. And guess what? If you don't like what I presented, that's okay. And that's the point of an audience of some. It is going to resonate with some people. It is not going to resonate with everybody. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I wrote personal development books. I've written leadership books. I've written transition books. I've written exponential success books. That's next, actually. They're not for everybody. I'm not writing them so that everybody, like there's 7 billion people on this planet. Are all 7 billion people going to love what I've written? No, of course not. Will some of them? Yeah. And who's my audience? My audience are the people that write back to me and say, wow, you know what? I read the whole book. This one line just spoke to me incredibly. Thank you. It's like, that's my audience. And so think about this. Your audience is not everybody you meet during a day. Your audience is not the entirety of social media. When you run a business, your audience is not the entirety of your community or the country or the world, right? Your audience are the people that resonate with you and your values. And you've got to be able to put your values out there so people understand, right? I think most people understand what I stand for, right? It's, I am a big fan of integrity. I'm a big fan of excellence. I'm a big fan of curiosity. There's so much more, right? Love is a big part of my values. I'll actually be doing, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll actually be doing a special podcast about my values. I'm doing a rebrand, and you'll watch how I do this, because values are huge. And if you don't resonate with them, that's okay. If you do, that's even better, right? That keeps you as my audience. And maybe as a community, we begin to make ripples in the world where we build community even further and even further and even further with people with like values. That's the point, right? So you have an audience of some, right? You have an audience of some. Be uniquely you. That's the bottom line out of all of this. Be uniquely you. I think it was Dr. Seuss that says, be you, everyone else was taken. You've got to just be uniquely you. I want to share some notes from my blog post called an audience of some. One of the things I wrote, growing and sharing that growth with others whom your talents lift. That is how you share who you uniquely are, right? You get to let go of trying to please everyone, even if that's family or friends who tell you that you're not the same person that you used to be. That's a gigantic gem right there. You're allowed to grow. You get to let go of trying to please everyone, even if that's family or friends who tell you you're not the same person you used to be. The world needs your voice and your unique perspective that you're gaining as you do grow. You. No one can be uniquely you, and everyone will appreciate that. That's the good news. You have an audience of some, right? It's not an audience of all. So take those thoughts, go back into the world, recognize that, there are going to be people that go, well, you're not the same person you were. It's like, I hope not. I am so glad I'm not the same person I was when I was in college, when I was in high school, when I was a kid growing up and trying to learn the rules of my family and society. I was a placater growing up. It's like I had to please everybody, right? So the lessons that I've taken are some of the lessons that I'm passing along to you. So recognize you don't have to please everybody, because it does not work. And being uniquely you allows you your voice in the world. It allows you your power in the world. It allows you greater choice in the world. And that choice leads to greater awareness, and that leads to greater freedom. So be you, show up, and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your month. Grow a little every day, and recognize that your audience is not the entirety of the world. You have an audience. You have an audience of some. And speaking of some, if you're interested in joining me at my next small group meeting, I have between 12 and 20 people coming. And I cap it. I keep it really small in the room. If you're interested, go to exponentialsuccesssummit.com. Take a look around. The pricing is easy, and I think that you'll get a lot out of it. And I know you'll get a lot out of it if you come. It's been called life-changing by pretty much 100% of the people that have come. If that's something that interests you, it's an audience of some, right? I'm asking for a dozen people to show up. I'm not asking for the entirety of my listening audience. I'm asking if you're interested, at least check it out. exponentialsuccesssummit.com. All right. With that, off you go, off I go. This is One Sharp Sword, cutting through to what matters most. I am Dr. P, Dr. Wayne Pernell, the Exponential Success Coach. We'll see you here next time.